There's a word going around the tattoo community. If you use it, people think you know your stuff. But here's the thing, I worked in Japan. That word, never heard it. Not once. You know what it is? One day, I was scrolling Instagram and I see these Western tattoo artists using this word in their caption. I scroll past it. But then it shows up again and again. Horimono. Hori, that carving, engraving. That's what tattoo artists do. And mono, things, material, subject. Honestly, I thought it was a motive term, like a hanya or oni, like a horimono was the word for subject matter. You ever think about that? But now, I look it up and the deeper I went, the weirder it got. Some sites said it's just another word for erasme. Some say it's a taboo technique. Some say it means a full body suit. Everyone using it differently. And this is weird. One site said Horimono means surprise, a Yakuza secret word. I'm not joking. Here's why. This word has nothing to do with tattoos. So what is you actually about? Sword. What kind of sword? You know the samurai katana. Like this. That katana, it wasn't just a weapon. It was a symbol of identity, of rank, of power. And they engraved things into the blade. Here, dragons, Sanskrit, Buddhist deities as a symbol of power and status. That's Horimono. Not the tattoo, a blade engraving. The craftsman who did this was called Horimonoshi. Not a horishi, completely different people. So how did the sword engraving term become a tattoo word? There's a twist here. 1720, Tokugawa Yoshimune, the 8th shogun, he made it official. Criminals get permanently branded on the forehead, on the arm. That was called irajimi-kei. Look at the kanji. To insert ink. Forced against your will because it was punishment. That feeling is right there in the characters. Think about it, a permanent mark on your forehead. What you did carved into your face forever. So of course, decorative tattoo people refuse to use that word. Same word, same means, criminal mark, no way. So they called it Horimono. Our is different as a irajimi. But that was it. At a period, ancient history. And here's something that will help understand why Horimono became what it is today. You ever drink a kombucha? Kombucha, that healthy drink. It's a Japanese word. But do you know what kombucha actually means in Japan? Kelp tea. Literally just kelp boiled in water. Zero connection to fermented fizzy drinks. The West took that word and slapped it on a fermented drink. And it got re-imported into Korea. Korea convenience stores are full of kombucha right now. Zero kelp inside. Japan isolated while the whole world used their word for something completely different. This isn't the only one. Hibachi. It's a charcoal brazier, a hearing device. In America, it's a teppanyaki steakhouse. Robata. It's a cooking space, sitting around the hearth. In America, it means skewers. See the patterns. Take a Japanese word, change the meanings, and nobody checks with an actual Japanese person. Food, okay, that's kind of funny, but tattoo community is different. Someone took this dying word and made it real word. How? One person, a Japanese person, and the moment he opened the door to the West, everything changed. 1872, the Japanese government banned Horimono. You know why? Because they thought it looked barbaric to the West. They were worried about their image. Ironic, right? Japan banned their own tattoo because of the West. And at that exact moment, Western sailors and diplomats are flooding into Japanese ports trying to find the tattoo artist. Japan is closing the door the West is working in. But the real turning point is someone specific. Horiyoshi the first, Yokohama, traditional tabori only, completely closed off from the outside. Back then, Horiyoshi couldn't let anyone see their work. They have to hide to survive. Horiyoshi the second, same thing. But third was different. What changed it? 1985, Rome. He met Western tattoo artists. He said it himself in an interview. He was shocked. That was the moment he decided to embrace Western tattoo culture. He connected with Ed Hardy, the guy who sparked the Japanese tattoo boom in the West. These two connecting was how Horiyoshi 3's name started spreading everywhere. He published over 10 books, distributed in English, built a tattoo museum in Yokohama. Western artists started making pilgrimages there. And then a book came out called Horimono, a Western perspective. Read that title again, a Western perspective. Right as Horimono was dying in Japan, the West picked up that word and kept it alive. English blogs, YouTube channels, seeing each other in circle. No primary source, no check with the Japanese person. And now the West is trying to teach Japanese people that this is the real world. Horimono is an archaic word buried in the Edo period. In English, it's like a thou. Thou shalt not kill. Every American knows it from the Bible. But does any American actually say thou in daily life? No, nobody. But imagine someone spreading. If you really know English, you should say thou instead of you. That's ridiculous, right? Horimono is exactly that. So what's the real world? Let me tell you now. Irajimi. Look at the kanji. To step blue. Isn't that beautiful? When you step the skin, the ink shows through as blue underneath. That physical phenomenon captured into characters. That's art. And here's just something interesting reading Irajimi as Irajimi. That's not the original reading. One novel changed it. 1910, Tanizaki Junichiro. The story was called Shisei. It blew up. People started reading those characters as Irajimi. The industry chose it for a reason. Irajimi carries the image of First Ink, a punishment brand. Irajimi is different, step, blue, way more artistic. If you want specific traditional Japanese style, wabori. Western people using Horimono among themselves, fine, whatever. But when you are talking about Irajimi, a tradition that demands respect, use the word from the country it came from. Irajimi, wabori, wari. お疲れ様でした。